Hello, everybody. This is Dauda Silva, your co-host, alongside with FJ here. We are here with another episode, and today we have a special guest. Most of the time, we do have players that come in here and we interview them, ask them about their experience. But today is a very special guest, a guy that has started coaching in the Gambia. He's no other than Coach Badara. Coach Badara, the floor is
Hello.
yours.
Yeah, hello, Dauda. Hello, FJ. Well, it's really great to be here. Yeah, it's a great pleasure to be here. Thank
Awesome.
you.
So can you
Nice.
please just introduce yourself, who you are as a person before being a coach, and your background itself?
Okay, well, I'm Badara Jeng. I'm residing here in Farato, West Coast region, and I work as a civil servant for 13 years now with the Gambian Transport Services as a revenue control inspector. So, apart from that, I'm a basketball coach and a family of two boys. My wife recently gave birth to a baby boy, and I have two. Thank you.
Oh,
Congratulations, bro.
congratulations. That's amazing. Yeah,
Mm.
That's cool. That's
that
cool. I
is
mean, look,
great.
you have a background outside of basketball, which is not very familiar with, the basketball culture we have in the Gambia, which
That's
shows
right.
you that you do,
Mhm.
take basketball serious, but also have another profession. I've seen a lot of those type of situations here in the US and also in Europe. So that's actually cool to know about that. So FJ, do you want to, talk about something or just ask him a question?
Yeah, definitely going to get into the questions because I'm excited to hear about his story as a coach and all of his experience,
Mm.
honestly. So, like, one thing for sure that I want you to start with is what inspired you to become a coach, especially with the success that you have been doing with like the youth teams in Gambia. So, just tell me about the experience and what inspired you to be a coach.
Yeah, well, my journey into being a coach was likely inspired by using basketball as a tool for social development and youth empowerment. Because I saw people like Mohammed Jimjai started Hope Project Gambia, where in Dauda was, and I used to go and watch their game as a fan. I remember there was a time Dauda played, and I went to him and asked him to take a picture with him. So that was back then. So I was really inspired what Hope Project been doing. Those are the things that really commit me to become a basketball coach. Yeah.
Yeah, I can vividly remember that game. As a young person, that was actually a big moment for me because for the first time I've seen somebody just literally came to the stadium just to watch me play. So that
That's
kind of
right.
clicked something like
Wow.
telling me that, oh, you're doing actually something good. The fact that you're being recognized to do something and people are coming to watch you, that means like you're doing something really good or extraordinary. So thank you for that, and that have been with me since that day and pushed me to become the version I am right now.
That's great. Yeah, just like I said, still on my journey. Yeah, I can say becoming a coach was an accident. No, I don't even know how to say it because there was this time the Pamudusa tournament was going on. So I went there to watch a game. It was the Kotu Blue Ninjas playing, and I have a very close relationship with Pamusa Top. So I went there to watch their game. So I think it was a second quarter, and I asked Pamusa, can I have a chance to say something to your teammates and stuff? And they all welcome, yeah, say something. All right. So I just talked to them like, why not we use this way to play instead of this? Just through my observation, like if they use this kind of play, they're gonna win the game. So they did what I said, and they didn't win the game, but it was a very good game. So afterwards, before they start the GBL league, I just have a call from Palms. I said, yo, we want you to become a coach. I said, a coach? Come on. I'm not a coach, and I'm far from the city. By then I was at postings at Farafenye, so I told him that I'm far from the city. I don't think I can handle that. He said, yeah, that's not a problem. You're just gonna be an assistant coach. Anytime you're in town, you can join us on training and see what's gonna happen next. And I was like, yeah, I will think about it. And that's it. I just said, let me just step in. I love basketball, so let me just see what's gonna happen next. That's the time I joined Koto Blue Ninja as an assistant coach. But with just a couple of months, the head coach step down and said, I want you to lead the team, and be the head coach. And that's the time I become the head coach. And Blaster, Coach Adama Barrow, become my assistant coach. By then he was a player. I told him, yo, I need an assistant coach, and I want you to stop playing basketball and become a coach. And that's how we lead the Koto Blue Ninjas all the way to the finals on my first season against the Serekunda West, and we lose that final. That was the start of my coaching journey. So the following year, I joined Serekunda East as an assistant coach, and from the assistant coach, it changed out to become a head coach, because the head coach was like a brother to me, and that's Ibrahim Sise. I named my first son after him. So he was like, man, I want you to be the head coach instead of me become the head coach. I thought, oh, okay, that's fine. And that's how I joined the Serekunda East and the whole project Gambia, becoming a basketball development coordinator for whole project. Yeah.
Amazing, bro. It's like
Wow,
life
that's
coming.
amazing. Yeah.
I mean, it's like I was like a little bit in the picture when all of these stuff were happening and seeing him growing. I mean, I was growing as a basketball player and also seeing him growing as a coach too. So I remember all of some of these stuff that you have been talking about, and being an assistant coach under father, like that's Ibrahim Asise. This shows the relationship that you guys had way before even being, coach, and then way before you naming him your son.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's very beautiful to see, and I like the fact that you guys have this bond. It kind of shows the basketball community that this is beyond a community only. This is more like a family also. So the fact
That's
that you
right.
guys are manifesting those type of bond and relationship is very important. You did also highlight the fact that you were an assistant coach at Koto Blue Ninjas, and then from assistant coach being to an head coach, but you did not get the chance to win the finals. So you were highlighting the fact that you tried your best, you worked hard as a team, and then you did not win. This also brings me to our next question, actually, with all of the achievements that you have won. So before winning this, a lot of people will not understand that in order to win, you must face some difficult battles, like losing some and winning some. So you did
Yeah.
explain that you didn't get to win, and people would now see you winning some of these awards and these tournaments, and would not get to remember, or would not even know that you have been in situations like that. So being a coach for the U16 and also the U18 that went to Guinea-Bissau, how was the experience as a coach, being the first time going outside internationally to represent the Gambia and help some of these young athletes to compete at a high level?
Yeah. Well, it was a great experience, like competing to the next level, the international level. It was really a great experience and a learning point, like the style of play that we have to put into this kid. But I have a core of my approach when it comes to coaching, and that's team leadership, individual players development, and creating a structure and a supportive environment. And I have all the supportive environment when leading a team. So those are the things that really helps me in my approach towards developing players across all genders and or going to the international level for competition. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So FJ, would you want to ask the next question?
Yeah, before I just ask the next question, this is just something that I also wonder. And I know a lot of female athletes want to know this too, but they don't maybe feel like they can ask that question. As a coach, as a male coach that also been coaching both male and females, obviously, do you feel like there's a different coaching style that you have to do, like your approach for maybe like let's say like a U16, let's just say like for example U16 girls or U18 girls versus the boys, because we all know that maybe how coaching styles can differ from the gender depending on how they play, how they take critic. It might be harder towards men or like boys versus girls or women, stuff like that. It all depends from country to country and coach to coach.
Mhm.
But like how do you feel as a coach that you have been dealing with that, and like how do you feel about that?
To me, across all gender, I maintain the same principle. Like
Yeah.
I make sure I put discipline in them and emphasize on fundamental skills with
Yeah.
team building. So being a male or a female, I make sure that I come with the same coaching principle towards all of them. Yeah.
That's actually a good question, FJ, and we're really grateful that you.
I mean, yeah, I've been wondering
Yeah,
about it's a nice one, yeah.
yeah. That's because sometimes when we are here, we just ask questions based on our own perspective as male. So the fact that you did
Mhm.
ask that is really important to see how coaches look at this type of situation.
Yeah.
They can, bring in their principle, and I'm glad that he answered it perfectly. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So sorry, continue.
no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Sorry, my internet's a little bit off, so I'm like hearing sometimes afterwards, so you guys know. So my bad.
Yeah.
So, Coach Badara, right? So you guys
Yeah.
won gold at the African School Games 2025, if I'm correct, right?
Mhm. That's right. That's
Congratulations,
right.
obviously. Said it
Thank
before, but
you.
once again. So how did you
Yeah.
prepare your team both mentally and physically coming into a tournament like this? Because obviously now it's not just like playing back home in Gambia. Like now you're also playing
Mhm.
against like other teams, like good teams. So how do you prepare your
Yeah.
team? Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
thing to
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah. 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 That was the historical moment, winning the first goal on the 3-on-3. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Well, it all goes back to the intensive training and mental preparation, because we all know that 3-on-3 is a fast game. So they must be mentally ready, because every second matters when it comes to the game. So there's no waiting. So I
Mm,
make sure that they train intensively, like going to the beach,
mm,
working on their strength and conditioning, and make sure that we have games. Like we play test game every 2 games, that we have to play test game to make sure that they are mentally and physically ready for the tournament. Because going to the Algeria games was not the first time we're going for an international competition when it comes to 3-on-3.
mm,
So these players been playing together for a while, because we went to the Dakar and Zwe back in 2024. That was last year, before we head into the Algeria games. So it was not that tough, because the players been playing together and practicing together for a while. So they
mhm.
make the job more easy for me when going to the Algeria game. But it all goes back to the intensive training, the mental toughness, and
Yeah.
knowing that we're going international and we don't know what we are going to meet there. So we have to be ready at all point. Yeah.
I like that. I like that you mentioned specifically. I mean, I like everything that you mentioned, but specifically that you talked about like the strength and conditioning. For
Mhm.
us athletes, we already know it's not only about working on the court, right? Like getting shots
Yeah.
up or doing stuff like that. It's also about getting your lift in. If you cannot lift, then at least you have the beach. Because trust me, beach workouts is is not easy. You know, it's tougher
Yeah.
than it looks like. It looks like it's easy, maybe, but it really is not. And that's something that works like your full body conditioning, strength, coordination. You can do all things. So I like that you implemented that, outside of the basketball, and then you combine it together, and then that will
Mhm.
also, because it's also mental toughness going working out, in the sand, it's warm, you're tired, all of that stuff, like it all is connected. So I really like that you implemented that to your team for sure. That's really good.
And it
That's
reminds
right.
me of it reminds me of one of his players that I just interviewed like 2 weeks ago. That's Abdoulaye Taylor. When I asked him about the experience, he said that the one thing that he took from these tournaments was that no matter how hard that you're working, somebody out there is working harder than you. So it just
That's
shows.
right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just shows you that some of these players, you have instilled some of these mindset in these players to understand that yes, it's not only about being on the court like FJ said, taking some shots, working on your handles. It's like those conditioning, going to the beach, doing too much, and you can see on his Instagram, Taylor is always in the weight room working on some part of the game that doesn't even require holding
Mm,
so that's very much important, and we are seeing the impact that you are doing with these, young athletes. And thank you for that, and kudos to your job.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So this brings me to the next question regarding grassroots level. I've known you, and I understand most of the project that you have been doing, and would love to hear a little bit about the Mbella sport. But for now, what or how did you see the improvement or the impact that you have been doing with these kids at a grassroots level, especially at Hope Basketball Academy, instilling some of these players to be able to be fully prepared to represent the Gambia? And we have seen like Gorgi being in great shape, always ready to represent the Gambia. And now we have seen the latest kid from the Hope Basketball Academy, that is SMJ Suleiman Jawara. So how was it with this work ethics that you have been instilling in these kids?
Yeah, well, Ad Hope Project is a community of academics, I can say, in a way that what they've been doing is absolutely incredible. So me coming into Hope Project, I already found a tradition there, a path that is already in place, like nurturing these kids through academics and skill development, basketball development. So that's something that Coach Barrow and Mohamed Jim already put into these kids. So me coming in was just a 25% addition to it because it was already structured. Yeah, okay. Coming to the development part and the academics part, we make sure that these kids playing basketball know that they are student athletes. Like the student comes first before the athlete. Like whatever they're doing, they must make sure that their grades are up there in order to have scholarships. And even though you don't have scholarship, but in order to be someone very productive in society in a positive way, so that's something that is already been there, like trying to show these kids that it's not all about playing basketball, but there's life after basketball. So I'm gonna say that what Hope Project been doing is absolutely incredible. So me stepping into Hope Project and giving me that position of being a basketball development coordinator. So it's been really great, like seeing all the progress that been happening along the way. Yeah. Because I can say we have some of our student athletes that are in US on scholarship. People like Alaji Wakambaj, people like Buba, and to name the other side there. Yeah, I can say.
Oh yeah, definitely. We've seen Waka, we've seen Buba, Bigfoot. The list goes on. We see Bigfoot is
That's right.
we see Lansana now. We also seen myself. So yeah, it's been something like a lot of work that has been put in. I mean, yeah, you said that you definitely came in and found it there. I mean, you also contributed a lot. But yes, shout out to Coach Jim and especially Coach Barrow, who has been on the grassroots level too, way before everything became big. So we would love to have Coach Barrow, but knowing who he is, it will be hard to get him on this platform. But we'll try our best. We'll try our best. But FJ, that is Coach Barrow. He has contributed a lot towards the growth of a lot of basketball players in the Gambia at Hope Basketball Academy. I myself, he has been mentoring me since I was young. So we go to every game together. And if I screw up, any game, I remember there was a game that we were playing against West. West is the best team. So I had the chance to actually tie the game or even get 2 points ahead. And at that time I was skinny and I was small. I tried to dunk that, so it didn't work. I missed the dunk, and from there they started calling me Dauda dunk. And all of those situations, Maro would always try to advise me when we were walking back home. And it has been with me like ever since. I've learned a lot about some important possessions that you need to score and not to screw up. Yeah.
That's right.
No, that's amazing. Speaking of like the grassroots that you've been doing all the work, you took it actually one more step. You went, overseas, you went international with your coaching, you're learning, right? You've been obviously having grassroots, the hope, all of that, like that's amazing. But I think obviously you felt like you wanted to learn more, right?
That's
so you
right,
went to
absolutely.
you've been, working, with EuroLeague coaches. You'll be joining their academies there to learn more. So how do you feel like that has helped you as a coach, and how do you feel like that's helping like the Gambian basketball. Having one coach doing that is is better than nothing, right? It's better than zero.
That's right.
But how do you feel like you can implement that into your coaching style and hopefully help other people, have that mindset to get more, learning from other coaches in EuroLeague. How do you
That's right.
feel that has been helping you?
Mhm. Yeah, well, I will say that the EHCB, the EuroLeague head coaches
Yeah.
sport academy is really a life-changing program. Like you have almost all these EuroLeague coaches, all these coaches from the
Mm,
Euro basketball, being our mentors and being our lecturers, and having science physicians,
yeah,
from
all of
the
them.
from the University of Belgrade, Serbia, teaching us, a lot of things that
Yeah.
we need to know about the human body and everything. So it only don't stop at basketball skill development, but they will show you and teach you everything you need to know about basketball. So the
Yeah.
EuroLeague has been a really life-changing opportunity for me, because it was a scholarship that
Mm,
was awarded to me through the EuroLeague, because I came to a time that I said that in order to achieve stuff, you need to develop yourself. Like, there's no limit in learning. So that's the time I started making research on ways to develop myself. And that's the time I found out about the EuroLeague. So I wrote to them and applied for the
mhm.
scholarship, and I was given the scholarship. So it's been really, really, really a life-changing opportunity for me. Yeah. Yeah, being a fourth generation of the EHCB. Yeah.
No, I think it's amazing. Also, just to mention this, it's also about connection because it was funny because I think you were in the same like in the same academy or whatever. I think it was with my former coach that I had in
That's
Sweden.
right. That's
So
right.
you see, it's crazy how it works, right? Like you're in
Yeah.
Gambia, my coach that I had, my new coach,
Mhm.
he's from, it's just amazing. And then you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I had your coach is the same one that we were in the same academy, like with EuroLeagues. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
So it's all
Yeah.
about connection as well. Like you learn more coaches, you learn about
Mhm.
them, and you connect with new people. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like you said, the EuroLeague is more about connecting, It's not only about
Yeah.
basketball, because you meet different coaches from different part of the world. You have coaches from China, so coaches from Europe, from Africa. So it builds connection. It builds connections. Like, yeah, it's really great to learn from new coaches, meet new friends. If you have any question that you want to ask, like on their coaching
Mm,
philosophies, on their coaching style, we just message each other, and stuff like that. So it's really been helpful. The EuroLeague been really
mm,
helpful. Yeah.
Because that's a very big platform for to have a Gambian there. Like FJ
yeah.
said, it's a former coach from Sweden was on it, so that shows you that this is not one of those small platforms. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I would love to ask this question that has been always with me. I always wanted to know how it has been, because I've lived with it like as a player, some of the challenges. But as a coach, what are the biggest challenges that you have faced when it comes to the athletes development and resources in the Gambia?
Yeah. Well, I would say, yeah, facilities, infrastructures. Like, during the summer, it rains a lot here,
Mm,
so it's really frustrating. Like, not having an indoor court. Sometimes you go for practice and it rains. Especially during this time, like few months ago, we are preparing for international events like a 3-on-3 and all that. So sometimes you go to the practice basketball court for practice, and it starts raining, so you have to cancel the practice and go back home.
mm,
So it's one of the most frustrating things right now, is to have a high quality basketball court with the modern training equipment. You know, they have to work on that. Like, we really need those kind of things. We need infrastructures. Yeah, it's really challenging.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. It has
yeah.
never changed since I started playing basketball. Anytime it rains, that's it. You just have to cancel your plans on working out. And I
Yeah,
understand
yeah,
be It's you are a basketball player just trying to go to your normal, hometown basketball court. You can easily cancel and go back home because you have nothing else to prepare. Even if it's for the league, you're still going to be in shape. But if
Yeah.
you're in the country, that's a
Mhm.
different case. Now you are being delayed on some of your program that you have with some of these athletes. So I can't imagine how hard it would be, especially getting ready for an international event that you might be able to win a gold medal, but just because of lack of resources is restraining you from achieving those goals. So I
Mhm.
hope something is being done towards these issues that we are facing in our societies. I think that basketball has been overlooked a little bit when it comes to our society. They don't focus on trying to help, and it's the easiest sport ever to build. It is one of the cheapest sport to build because the court is not as big as a football
Mhm.
field. Even if you can just create something like a semi-indoor. I remember when I went to Togo, there was this place that we played. It was raining. It was not a full indoor court, but it was roofed, and everything came all the way down, covered
Mhm.
entirely.
Yeah.
You can feel like it's
Yeah.
open. You can feel the breeze, the wind coming in. But when it comes to the sun, when it comes to the rain, you're still protected. We see that in Europe. We
Mhm.
also see that. So it just starts with
Yeah.
something small. We don't have to just get up and get a basketball indoor court, but we can
That's
start
right.
trying, fixing some of these issues with sustainable, resources that we have, and it will be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
That's
hope
right.
I hope that's something that's gonna happen,
Yeah.
very soon. But also one thing with having a coach like you there is you're very creative, right? Like if something obviously if it's raining and stuff like that, then you will find if you guys don't want to go home, you can find a way to maybe get a workout. And like I feel like having a coach that's creative and that can think outside the box and not just think,
Mm-hmm.
okay, just basketball, 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 but just
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can do maybe you do like system play, like you just without a ball you can just be
Yeah.
inside, it's lots of things you can do, visualize, you can do
Absolutely.
all these things. So I feel like having a coach like you that's had experience both internationally, regional, just knowing things in general and having that in your pocket, so when things happen, when things go wrong, or if some, just bad luck, you can just,
Mm-hmm.
pull it up, all right, we don't have practice for it, but we got practice, okay.
Yeah,
That's right.
So
That's
you
right. That's
still
right. That's
you
right.
still have that. And that
Yeah.
yeah.
leads me to the next question. Because you're one of the coaches that have, good experience internationally, regional, right? How do you
Yeah.
feel like that has really helped you? We touched on that in the beginning, as how, the programs have helped you. But how do you really feel like those experiences have helped you implement, implement it to your team? Because I know there's a lot of, things you've learned for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel like that's helped you and your team, of
Yeah.
course?
Yeah. 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 Well, international tournaments, they help me more into adjustment. Like it gives you
Mm,
quick adjustment with uh, because you will see different playing styles, and different coaching methods and all those stuff. So
yeah,
going to international event, because sometimes how Gambia play and how other countries play sometimes gonna be different, uh,
yeah,
depending on their playing style and everything. Because I can say like the time we went to Algeria for the 3x3 game, the way Ghana play and the way we play is kind of different though. So watching their game before
hmm,
we play against them gave me a big advantage, because I know that
yeah,
the way this guy's going to play, if you come with this style, is going to help us and stuff like that. So you see different things. Because now, if I have to play with teams like Ghana or teams like DR
hmm,
Congo and stuff like that, I already know the way they play and stuff like that. So international tournaments, like going to other regions to play, is really helpful. It's really helpful. It changed me a lot on my way of thinking and my coaching philosophy.
That's good.
yeah. Can I just ask something? Sorry, Dauda, before we just continue. I just want to mention this because me and Dauda, obviously, we're basketball, like we're seeing it from the opposite side. We're seeing it from the basketball, like as a player perspective. But I feel like a lot of players sometimes forget that also the coaches have their own journey as well. Like you guys have a
Mhm.
whole, you guys have your own thing to work on. You have a whole, you have scouting, you have this, like you have tons
Yeah.
of things to think about. So
Hmm.
I feel like having you here explain all these things, give people insight, even the people in Gambia. Maybe some of them haven't even asked you these questions. Maybe they have. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I think you explaining all this will give them insight on how you work and all the things you put in, and not just coming to show up to practice and be like, hey, we got practice. Like you do a lot of things behind the scenes. And I
That's
think that
right.
will lead us to
Absolutely.
the next question that Dado will ask you.
Yeah, it's very important to know like some of these stuff from a coach's perspective because
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. We're players. We just work on being better at ourselves. But
Yeah.
for like now I'm exposed to films. I don't even know how coaches sit down, take numerous hours just watching some of the game films, trying to scout best players. So yeah, I mean,
Mm.
oh, it's amazing. But then also, I want to come back to the grassroots level, regarding to my next question. For the for the grassroots level, we have been experiencing a lot of change in our country. We have some of these youth embarking on the back way, which is with or the through the sea to go to Europe. And we have seen a lot of youths. Some of them are even my cousin who have died in this journey.
Sorry.
It's become really concerning. We have been hearing it since we were young, and this journey has been going on still. People are still risking their life. As a coach, how do you play or balance your role as a coach and as a mentor to some of these young athletes that are trying to find that? Because there's a lot of distraction when they're off the basketball court and go
That's
back
right.
to I've been talking to some of my friends back home, some of the kids that look up to me, and they really some issues or situations where they either think about embarking on this journey. I know you are aware of some of these stuff. How do you balance your role as being a coach and also being a mentor outside of the court?
Well, it all goes back to the grassroots because you cannot see an adult like do this or do that or this is not the right thing to do. So going back to the grassroots, being a mentor to show these kids that this is a bad thing. Like you don't have to do this. Like that's the only way that we can stop it is going back to the grassroots. Like organizing camps. Like I organized the Bansam basketball camp, you know, like to campaign against illegal migration and like there's another one I did where like dribbling away from drugs because these are the things that are affecting our society and stuff. So in
Mhm.
order to battle with this crisis that we are facing, we must organize platforms like basketball camps, programs like basketball camps, basketball clinics for these kids to get engaged in basketball at an early age, and also to bring these things into the program, telling them that don't do this. It's going to lead you to something bad in your life. You can lose your life using the back way. You can go mentally off using a drug and stuff like that. You cannot say an adult like, don't do this. You can only say that to the kids, and the only way we can do that is through basketball, and introducing them to basketball. We can only do that by organizing basketball camps. Through that, they can get interested in basketball. So I can say that the grassroots basketball camps will really bring change when it comes to stopping people using the illegal migration to the back way. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, coach. This is why I wanted to ask the question because over the past few years, we have seen you working towards these type of things, trying to mitigate these issues to a very less situations where youths are impacting on this. And we're really grateful that you are one of those people that don't only look at basketball as a tool, but also looking at it as a way to change some of these lives of these young people.
Mhm.
It's really important. It's really important for kids to understand that some of these journeys it's really dangerous because it's because of peer influence. So you see your friend embarked on the journey
Mhm.
and made it to Germany or somewhere, and you think that yeah, it's possible. All you're seeing is just the possibility of making it, but you're not looking at thousands of lives being lost in the sea. So thank you very much for doing those type of things, and I hope in the future we can keep supporting the work that you're doing with these camps and stuff like that.
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
Let's see.
Oh yeah,
Let's
we go to the next question. We do have something regarding the 3 and 3. It's, I mean, FJ, have you been following one of the 3-on-3 that was in Senegal, that both the male and female? It was you talked about how he was coaching both male and
Mhm.
female. So I wanted to actually ask about that,
Yeah.
because you had one
Mhm.
of the best male teams in the country. You had Tida, you had what's her name again? The big man, the center,
Umi,
Umi.
just
Oh,
Umi,
that
yeah,
I recently saw Tita posting some of the highlights from there, and I was like,
yeah,
wow, these girls were playing really good basketball, and Zainab too. Zainab is strong going to the paint. So
that's right.
yeah, so having those type of tournaments, what impact can it create in these young people? What does it tell these young kids about their talent competing at those type of levels?
Yeah, competing in the international levels will motivate these kids and show them that they really can do it. So it really gives them that courage to know that they are really ready to compete in international level, because some of them, that was the first time them going out there to compete. Like, I can remember our first game, Umi was kind of shy, playing her first international game together with Baby Say and Fatmata Injai. Tida have the experience already. So them coming into the game, the first game was really, really, really kind of tough for them. But the second game changed everything, because it shows them that this is an international level. Like, you have to put everything aside. Like, you can do it. You have other people here. You can do it. So after those events, it really showed them that you guys are really ready. You guys can really play outside. Yeah. So it's really helped people like these players going outside for international tournament. It gives them courage, I can say. Yeah.
Awesome. So MJ, what would you say to some of these young
Yeah.
kids? Right now, we do have something that just happened. We talked about it on the group chat. The female team were getting ready to go to Angola, to Saudi Arabia actually, but it was canceled. What would you
Mm-hmm.
advise? It was a heartbreak for them, but what would you actually advise them if they're listening right now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
Well, it's
very
all.
sad to hear about that. It's like it's terrible. Oh, sorry. Go on, brother.
Yeah, well, it all goes back to the preparation. We just have to be working on our rankings, because when it comes to 3-on-3, it's all about rankings. So uh, we encourage to have more internal tournaments in order to make our rankings to some international events. So, and we're really working on that. I'm sure it's really disappointing and heartbreaking for them preparing and haven't traveled to the last minute that they cannot travel. But I'm sure they are strong, and they can really get ready for other events. And I'm sure we really work on our rankings to make it to other events. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, FJ, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Um, I think that just like Coach said, I can imagine like they're strong, like, they won't let this break them and, be
Yeah,
the end of the
absolutely. Yeah.
career or anything, right? Like this is just a minor setback. And also just they should also think about like this is not something they really can control at this moment right now. At the end of the day, basketball is about statistics, ranking, it's all about numbers at the end of the day. And that's just how it is at this point. So right now, like Coach said, just work on the ranking step by step, and from there on they can start getting more into that international stage, right? It will be there.
Mhm.
Saudi Arabia won't leave, right? They
That's
can
right.
keep working on that goal or wherever that may be the next tournament. So I think that's something they can just. I know it's not tough to forget about right now, but just leave it on the side for now. Work on the next challenge or the next goal that you have ahead of you, and that's something that they should focus on right now. And then whatever comes next, that's what's coming next.
Yeah. On a personal level, I have learned a lot from this podcast since we started it. I mean, every guest that we had here, we always ask them a question about, what has been the toughest moment in your life. And most of the time, they always talk about injuries. They always talk about setbacks towards not being on the court as they want to. So I've learned, and also from a personal level, there was a time that I took a gap year, and then it was a little bit frustrating because you're away from what you really love doing, just so that you can achieve some certain goals or short-term goals, or just to get back stronger from an injury. So it's not related to injury when it comes to the kids, but this is a setback. There's always a minor setback or a major comeback. I mean, I'll just say that, like all of you guys just said, let's just keep working. It's always about just staying ready. When you stay ready, when
Yeah.
the opportunity present itself, you are ready. You don't have to go back training too much. You're already ready to present yourself. Like you said, Saudi Arabia is not going anywhere. There will be more opportunity. So let them just keep
Exactly.
working. Yeah. So looking forward, coach. Looking forward to the future and to more achievements. What is your plan for basketball in the Gambia in the next 5 years, and what advice do you have for young people that are aspiring to become coaches just like you?
Yeah, my vision towards the basketball development in Gambia for the next 5 years is for it to be in all the corners of this country. Like, I just don't want basketball to only be focused on beating the combos. I want it to be in all the corners of the country. But because just yesterday I was at Basse to have a meeting with them regarding this thing, like the development of basketball, because they are at the first step of introducing the basketball development project, where that they will focus more on the grassroots basketball development. So from there, I want basketball to be in all the corners in this country, not only in Basse but also in Farafenye, both the north and the south bank, because that's the only way that we can tap in talents. Because the talent don't only stop here in the combos. You have tall kids out there in the rural area and everything. So my main focus right now is to make sure that basketball reach to all the corners of this country, from Banjul to Koina. Yeah.
That's great. That's great, coach.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's amazing.
look at
Yeah.
Senegal. That's how they do it. They don't just stay at Dakar. They just don't stay at Moor or in Seed Academy. They go all the way to Casamas. They all go all the corner in Senegal and try and recruit some of these players. Create events like you just said, camps. Invite some of these, athletes from Casamas. We do have Baba Sonko from, Casamas. I didn't even know that he was from Casamas, and he used to play there. There was another also Senegalese who's from Casamas that made it here. He was in the same team with Anthony Edwards. So it's really important to tap into every corner of the country, especially in Gambia. Gambia is not a big country. We can definitely do that. And this is a great initiative you are implementing. And we pray that, Allah makes it work for you, because this is something that we have been lacking a little bit. And, you're stepping in, trying to bridge in that gap. So we pray and we hope that we can help.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick, Coach, is amazing to have you here on the podcast. Like Dauda said, like he's learned a lot of things, personally on this podcast. So even though we're the one just asking you questions and all these things, it's also giving us an insight. Like we're learning a lot from our guests coming here, whether it's players, if it's coaches, or whatever role you have in the basketball world or basketball in Gambia. Like at the end of the day, we're all in this together. Wherever you are in the world, at the end they were all Gambians. We want to make the Gambian basketball better one way or
That's
another.
right.
So having a coach like you there, and we're trying to get more people on this to get the Gambian basketball out there, talk more about it, because there's so much talent in Gambia. Even though the resources are not really there yet, there's still so many things that can be done there. But look at all of the talent that's there, and look at the people that made it out of Gambia. Some people are in the US now playing. Imagine if we had all the resources there, imagine how many more players could have been there, or coaches could have been outside of Gambia. So I appreciate that you took your time to be here and give an insight about your life as a coach, as a mentor, just being just Badara, just being you. So I appreciate
Thank
that,
you.
really. We appreciate it for sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, coach.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dora. A great pleasure.